I really want to thank the donors because you have made our mission very successful. Due to your generosity, we have started many new programs, and we have had the ability to act quickly when we're asked to start 2 new programs in Armenia and send extra implants to Ethiopia due to conflicts in these areas. Thank you very much. SIGN is a partnership, not a charity. The surgeons report their cases by sending them to the database. We learn from these x-rays and we can develop better implants as well as judge the effectiveness of our present implants. Our IT department is exceptional. Our database continues to improve, and we have a hub for education of surgeons throughout the world. SIGN is functioning toward our purpose of helping the poor in developing countries. Thanks to you, we can respond, and we have treated 320,000 patients around the world. These are people who had no say in their medical treatment, and the results of our surgeons around the world are excellent.
This message is to our donors, our SIGN board, the SIGN surgeons, our volunteers, and our staff. We really miss you. The pandemic has made many changes in our lives, and we're grateful for the ability to communicate to you through this technology, but also look forward to the day when we can meet in person and exchange our ideas and think to the future together in person. We manufacture the SIGN implants and instruments here at our facility in Richland, Washington. I mention that because not everybody realizes that. And our governor early on considered medical manufacturers essential. So for us, that means all of our staff have remained employed throughout the pandemic, and we're very grateful for that, for them and for the SIGN patients overseas. More than half of our staff have been working from home since mid-March, and those directly associated with manufacturing, quality inspection, and shipping, they've remained in the building and busy manufacturing products for us to send out. Our engineers continue to develop new products and or make revisions to existing products. The machinists have helped the engineers with R&D projects, and the quality inspectors and shipping personnel have been working with the machinists to build inventory on our shelves so that we can respond quickly to starting new programs, resupplying existing programs, and also to addressing conflict where needed, as we recently have done in Armenia and Ethiopia. Our products are cleared by the FDA, and our processes are certified by ISO 13485. Our regulatory and quality assurance departments have been working with engineering and production and the rest of us to help us understand how to comply with these regulations. And their success is demonstrated by the fact that we always pass our audits without any findings. And so kudos to them for their great attention to that effort. We have a dream of reaching more patients. We know there's more for us to reach, and we established a number to get to by 2025, and that number is 50,000. Right now, I think this year we'll be able to reach about 27,000, which is a couple thousand less than last year, and the reduction is due to the pandemic, of course. But we have to do that, to reach that number, we have to make a plan. We have to look at what kind of machines, what kind of positions we need, not only in manufacturing, but in other areas of discipline within SIGN. And we're doing that. We're building that plan. And that plan will help us to seek out funding to help us with procurements of things if that's what we need. One area that we discovered needed attention right away was how we not how we ship, but how we package our product. For many years, we've been hand putting them in by hand, sealing the packages by hand, and labeling the packages by hand. And we've been very grateful. We've had very committed volunteers doing that with us for years. But early this year, we realized we needed to purchase an automated way to package these items and do the labeling. And we have done so. The machine is tremendous. It's able to fill the packages, seal them, and label them all within a matter of seconds. And so that packaging machine will enable us to reach that 50,000 patient goal. Our model is education plus implants equals healing. It's still in place. It's always in place. It's just how we implement that's different this year. Normally, in a normal year, we would be traveling to regional conferences throughout Africa and Asia and reaching about 150 people at each conference. And we would be holding our own conference here at our headquarters, which also has a capacity of 150 people. But this year we pivoted to online webinars. And what we're learning about this is that we're reaching more people in more areas of the world. So today we're in 54 countries, but there are more than 54 countries represented in every webinar, viewers represented in every webinar. And that's a real eye-opener for us, that this is not only a method of spreading education out to more surgeons, but also a way to reach out to more areas of need. I'm really excited to share that program and education and IT departments were able to accomplish that for us. And they were also able to improve or further expand the knowledge that's located on our Sign Surgeons website called The Hub. So for a long time, we've had a website where they can go and look at our technique manuals and our videos that we've done on how to do certain techniques. And now we have a way for them to have online forums and blogs, and those two areas of teaching each other, the sign surgeons teaching each other, are growing in capacity. We continue to populate the hub with more content, and soon we'll have, probably sometime late 2021, we'll have ways of giving quizzes as you're reading through the material to see how your comprehension is. Improvements to the surgical database made by our RT department makes it faster for sign surgeons to enter into the surgical database. They are busy guys and gals, so I'm glad that we're able to make that happen for them. And Dr. Zirkle and others from our board who provide the daily mentorship and feedback of those surgeries also have faster access to the areas that they need to review, and the way that they message back through the database now saves a tremendous amount of time. So that's helping to build us into the year that we have 50,000 patients as well. I'm really pleased that our finance and accounting department decided to hire an outside vendor for our payroll and HR matters. They did that last December, and it turned out to be a providential decision because not only because it's saving them time on processing payroll, but also because this vendor is nationwide and has built wonderful training webinars for us to learn more about normal HR issues, as well as those related to the pandemic. Many of our donors already know this, but our fund development department made the move to online events, and they were all well attended. So as with online webinars, these events take about the same amount of time as an in-person one would take. And we're analyzing that situation to see how best to use our time and to get out messages to you. I'm very impressed with the quality of the stories that they've been presenting to you through the signed newsletters and also e-blasts, and want to ask you to contact Lori Meyer, whose email will be at the end of this video, with any ideas you have for other types of stories, or maybe if you're a sign surgeon, you have a story you want to share, or if you're a sign volunteer, surgical volunteer overseas, maybe you have some experiences that you would like to share through our newsletter. We'd love to hear from you. As I think through this year, I think about how resilient we are and how we've been able to accommodate change so rapidly in such a tumultuous time. And when I drive down George Washington Way, which is like our main street, I see these signs that say heroes at work. And these signs are outside buildings like retirement homes, the police department, the fire department, and of course the hospitals. But I just feel like I almost want to have those signs outside of every building, especially ours. Our sign staff, whether working at headquarters or at home, and despite worries for their families, have remained focused on the mission of providing orthopedic care to the injured poor. Sign surgeons have just impressed me so much because often without the proper PPE, they still go inside the hospitals to care for orthopedic patients or, depending on the situation, COVID patients. We pray for all of them. Our sign board in March stepped up and helped us identify areas of risk that we need to consider in terms of shipping to the sign programs and for items coming to us like tooling and raw material. And we followed their recommendations. And now they're working with us to build that 5-year plan I mentioned earlier. But then there's the sign donors. This is where I get really emotional. When you're the CEO or executive director of a nonprofit organization and you rely on donations, and then a pandemic hits, and then which affects the stock market and all parts of everybody's life, you wonder, are we going to be able to continue the mission for the people that we serve? Well, you know what? I didn't have to wonder very long, because within a week of the self-isolation, or whatever that's called, within a week of being notified that we have to self-isolate, and possibly I was worried that we might have to shut sign down just because of what our governor might have decided, the donations kept coming in. And they were incredibly generous donations. And you have to know that those gifts, I know they help us to help the poor, but your gifts also give us the confidence to know that you're behind us. Just like we're behind the sign surgeons by giving them the equipment and the training that they need, you are behind us and helping us to pave the path for patients worldwide to receive care that they would otherwise not receive. Your gift heals, and it brings us confidence, and we are incredibly honored that we have your trust. So thank you. And on behalf of our sign staff and Dr. Zirkle, I want to wish everybody who's watching this a happy holiday season, and that you stay well, and that in 2021, whether or not the pandemic is still here, make that 2021 a happy new year. Thank you.